Check out the Thinking Out Loud Network at thinkingoutloudnetwork.com.
Good afternoon. This is Pastor Deborah Curry here live at WadeWorksStudios on Thinking Out Loud Network. I guess my son I hate when he smiles because he get me turned up. Okay. You know what I mean? I'm just like, oh, okay, discombobulated. Okay, but praise God. I just thank God today that we are here live, myself and my co-host, Sean Sims. Greet the people, my sister.
Hello, world. I'm Sean Sims, the one and only. If there's another, then she's a phony.
Well, praise God. Yes, she is, because she's right here live.
That's right.
We just praise God again. I thank God because I'm just feeling good. That's all I say. I feel good, in my
too.
How they say, in my sanctified soul.
Okay.
Down in it now. But
down.
we praise God. It's a glorious, glorious day in here. And we know it's some storms and tornadoes everywhere around the country. But I thank God when you live in His Spirit, He more or less conducts our lives the way he wants us and desires us to be. But on this day, we have a journey to go into. My sister and my co-host, she told me about some things that she had discussed with some of her friends. And if you are watching, you're on our mind and in our hearts right now. And I'm going to first let her bring forth exactly what you had discussed with your one of your people. And then we're going to go from there while I look at these papers.
So what's happening is we have millions of people in the world, but the majority of the people are lonely. Why is that? And it's a lot of beautiful people, and they're single. So it's like, what can we do to bring people together? You know, it's a concern.
Ask you this question, Miss Sims.
Okay, and I'll answer.
Well, see, you know, we discussed something similar on last week. And I guess, and then you kind of approached it as we was coming up the steps because of the episode that I experienced with these young men.
Right.
And first, I kind of, like how you say, reacted a certain way in my mind because I'm like, okay, why would a man approach a woman that does not have a desire for a man? Now think about that. Here we do have
Well,
many
is it a
women.
challenge? A lot of times people like the challenge of what they can't get. They think that,
But how do they know? I mean, with this young man that I was talking about, and for him, I mean, I hadn't spoken to him since, I'm going to give you an exact date. I'm the kind of person specific. I think I had not had a conversation, and you all that are listening know it's not a person who I generally be with, because that's the first thing, go to a person, she knows she's with this man. No, he was a client for one thing, and then he's in business with me in some things, but not physically in business. But no, we had taken care of one of his situations with his ex-wife, and that was the last time I talked with him. And we had told each other that we were going to do some things with the production and everything, and then that's when COVID hit. So, and then literally, I didn't look at him or look toward him in any kind of way of something where physicality or impetus.
Well, you know, with COVID, your mind get to playing tricks on you.
Okay, now elaborate. Now, I guess
I'm
he
just
how
saying,
man knows it, because he's a good man and he's a strong man, and I noticed too by how he takes care of his family. Because I do know a man by the way he takes care of his family. If he's really a good man, just like I was telling you, let him talk. Right. And I used to always hear him talk, but I didn't know he watched me. Sometimes I would discern it, and that's why I said the spiritual side comes in.
It's always somebody lurking around the corner.
But he would just be looking sometime when I'm around, and he would be listening. And then I'm going to tell you what, one time I had to pick him up from the courthouse, and I knew something because I didn't know what it was. He was just nervous in the car. And I'm like, okay, he's a strong man again. He's not in a situation where he's weak. So when he was so nervous, he had to said, you can just let me off at the mall. And I was like,
So, Gary, what you think that Pastor Curry is doing to these men over here, making them weak at the knees?
But no, and then listen, this is a good-looking man. His ex-wife, 35 years old. I don't even have a thought toward a 35 man. And what is the age of the young man I told you? If anybody I went toward would be my movie star guy. Who is that? You know, the one I told you that I met and we was fellowshipping with the good-looking man on my squad. You know what I'm talking about. What is his name?
A whole bunch of good.
No, the one you say he's fine. You know the one I'm talking about. Shamar Moore.
Woo!
If anybody I would ever look at, hey, my friend. But no, if anybody I would look at, it would be him. But to think about a 35-year-old man, because see, with me, I want to put them together with these beautiful women I'm seeing every day. I want them, if anything, I can say, you know what? But I don't want to set someone up if it's not the will of God. You understand what I'm saying? It'll just be a connection, lustful wise.
Right.
But I would sit there and watch him because I was, if we're going to defend you, I want to make sure you're a man that once you get out of there, 'cause we're going to win the case. Hey, I'm just that sure in God.
Okay.
But I want to make sure that I'm doing the right thing and we're fighting for the right thing. But
Right.
And I would sit there, but when he called to say, when he texts, correction, when he texts to say, you know what, Pastor Curry, and that's why he caught me for a loop, because that's why I'm like, okay. He said, I was listening to Love Theory by Kirk Franklin, and you just all on my mind.
Oh.
But no. And see, that's what I'm saying. But with me, the first thing God revealed to me, it wasn't just a spiritual connection in his mind. And I said, wait a minute. But I would see him when I'm talking, and I know everybody trying to figure out who it is. But no, when we would be on production, sometime I would say something, because one time I said something on the air, and I caught him. I caught him in the spirit before I caught him out of my side rear view mirror in my eyes.
Staring a hole in.
No, because I was telling him, I said, I fell in love with this person when I first met him 20 years ago. And I felt his spirit say, what? And that's what made me look over in his direction, because I wanted to see that he said something in my earphones. And I said, I don't have no earphones on, so how can I hear a gasp? And I said, oh, my God. He said, he watches you. And then when I told you he got nervous that day in that car, and just let me out anywhere. So I went to him after I saw him face to face. I said, what did I do to you? Because I know you jumped out of that car. He said, nothing, ain't nothing. But see, this is what I'm trying to say with these women, and I'm telling you, I have so many men. That's why and I first have to emphasize it to those that watching us. Yes, we are beautiful, blessed women. And I know you see that this is a strong lady. And yes, I tell the devil in hell, he knows it. I don't even have to tell him I'm strong, because my strength is made perfect. And the weakness I'm in, I'm strong. So you know, if you know Jesus, honey, he is strength. He is my strength. Okay? So, but the situation is that we are not after men. We talk a lot of, and people may say crap, but it's not crap. It's reality. And I walk this reality because God made and established me in him on a foundation that cannot be shaken. So that's why, unless I myself am in stupidityness, because anytime a woman go lay with a man that is not hers, then you are stupid. So I understand, and we're going to chime in on this, sis. Men are going to say, oh, you know what? She's saying she don't want a man, or she don't desire a man. I don't desire what is not
somebody
mine.
else. I ain't
There
never
you
like
go.
playing with nobody else's toys.
Now you understand what I'm saying? So just because you hear me say I'm single, or you hear her, we don't want nobody. So all the calls that are coming into my inbox, listen, if you want to do business like you first approached me with, stay there.
Right.
Because
Stay
I will
professional.
offend you if you continue to. And what men don't understand too, if you show me your private parts, I'm going to do something legally. I'm serious. When I start, bombarding my inbox, I said, listen, for one thing, you can't do nothing for me. I'll embarrass you. But we as women and young ladies that are watching this broadcast, see, that would excite you, and you would probably get on the digits and dial. It doesn't excite me. It makes me disrespect you. And when you approach me with your professionality, which is these are professional men. Some is kind of like screwy, but and I'm sitting back saying, excuse me.
One is disrespectful because they know you're a pastor.
That's
so who would be shame on you?
But no, but I
That's
really
crazy.
do. And that's why I said, and it's going to bring us to this. I was looking at a picture that I'm sure many look watch, and I don't usually be up at 4 o'clock in the morning turning on no TV. But God said, you need to watch this because you asked a question, even though you know the answer. But let me give you the answer to way carnal women or sensual women look at it.
Okay.
It was this picture by Rio, with the 4 ladies.
Right. Right.
Yeah, okay.
The Rio.
And isn't her name with all the long hair, is her name Garnier, the beautiful one? I mean, all of them beautiful. One is
the one that's going with the rapper?
I think it's the Chinese. Oh, you talking about Jeezy? Okay. No.
Not that. So the other
but the one with the long hair, she used to be a model.
Okay.
Because I love her. I mean, I just love her mannerism and personality. But she said, the problem with her, because they were trying to tell her, how do you find a man? But first in my mind, I answered to myself, you don't find one, he finds you. But you know, when you're on a level about carnality or sensuality, it's about just dating. But she said, what it is, she said, men are intimidated by me. And you remember we spoke about that.
Okay.
And I said, okay, let me sit up for a minute and see what's coming. She said, no. She said, what it is, she said, a lot of them, she said, let me tell you how you know a man is intimidated by you. So I said, I really need to know this. Because remember, I had spoke on this before.
Really need to know.
Yes, because I'm approached by many men that intimidate. And I'm like, what you intimidated for? But she said, when a man is intimidated by you, I don't care how great he is. He could be a billionaire or whatever. If he's constantly trying to demean you and make you feel like you're less than,
that's the problem.
he's intimidated by you.
That's the
And
problem.
so that's when I said, oh my God. Because I had experienced it once before. I
Mm.
mean, that was the situation. I'm going to tell you, even the one I was getting ready to get married
So you're having a power struggle?
I don't know what it is. I won't struggle with it. If I knew it, but then when I discerned that struggle there, that's what pushed me out the window of that situation. But yeah, because the one that I finally just left, the one I was going to literally marry. But when I said, no, God it's not God's will that I be with you. I said, I done prayed and I sought God, and every answer I get back from God is no, the door is closed. But when he made this comment, that's when I knew. He was like, you'll never find nobody better than me. And I heard the Spirit of God say.
Ooh, he said that?
But I'm telling you, because he saw, but one thing he know.
So that right there was the problem.
Yeah, that was the key right there. But even though vision, God would show me where he's not the one, and you can only just like we was
There's
talking,
always
you can
somebody
only
that's
just
better
obey
than
God.
somebody else.
That's it. But that's
There's
something.
always somebody that look better than somebody else. I mean, you know.
I don't even think it's about that. It's
I'm just saying, you know, people think can't nobody be cuter than me. Are you kidding me?
Please.
But you know,
And I
people
believe
think
that's
like
why
that.
people are connected, not about your looks or whatever like this. And that's why if a man think he can woo me by your money, oh, that'll never happen. People hear me say things that sound facetious. Listen, when I heard my dad, even he said that before a long time ago, but when he said, ask me anything, do you not know any other woman probably said, if I was carnal, let me correct it that way. If I was carnal, I said, Daddy, give me Shamar more. But you know, God doesn't do that. But
Right.
just being comical, you all.
Right.
But my dad owns the whole world. I mean, in the Bible it said a cattle on many hills, but I'm to the point like, why would I sit there and worry? And when he made that comment, in my eyes, I said, wait a minute now, who you think you are?
Mm-hmm.
But women, some of you all I have seen that you have when I said potential, you have the potential to, and again, we spoke on that last week. When that man that's going to find you, the potential in you is going to enhance him and make you all that. So don't try to make yourself look so, you know, because some of y'all got some good plentifuls. And you got everything looking good. And because I'm telling you, I'll give
and
you your
broken
deals
on
now.
the inside.
There you go. And see, that's what I'm talking about. So you all, I want to have some things, and I don't. And when I say I don't, I could let you meet some good men. And when I say good men, they're good men because some of them are literally broken in their hearts, not like broken like way man call broken. I may have to let my son come in and chime, but I will, because I want women to understand men, when they are broken, it's because somebody had broken their heart. That's what I'm saying. And I notice men are not like women. A woman's heart could be broken, and maybe 6 months later, a year later, if a right man come in their
Right.
focus, they're gonna be ready.
But the men
But
put
they
up
don't
their
understand
guard.
that was just lust. But you know, and want to be nourished and cared for. But Mr. I need you to chime in. When a man's heart is broken, what more or less would it take to cause a man's heart to be broken?
Well, I mean, get the mic together here. Do I need to unmute myself? There we go.
Oh, okay, perfect, okay.
Well, I mean, I think, you know, it's always, I guess if I'm speaking from personal experience, and I only have the one, it's always a relationship that a man's heart is broken. His heart is broken over money, loss of his vehicle, even though we kind of hold dear to our cars, but but uh, heartbroken from over a woman. That's
But
generally
what would it? That's the question I'm trying to get out of there.
Oh, Fred,
What would she have to do? What I
when,
mean,
when you say have to do, meaning
to cause the heart to be broken? It's something. It's not easy to just break
oh well,
a man's heart.
no, but all she has to do is be with someone else.
Because he has feelings.
Right, but the ego is real fragile.
Yeah.
So that's literally what you're saying. Their ego. So
Right.
I don't see you having an ego to be broken.
Well,
you just
because
admit it.
there's a song by Omarion called Icebox, and the chorus is I got an icebox where my heart used to be. I'm so cold, meaning as in he's waxed cold as a result of
Right.
a hurt. And so a lot of times, and I can speak for me personally, you build something around your heart so that no matter what happens, it will never be affected again. Because once it's been broken once, most of the time a man ain't gonna want it broken again.
That's what they said. Okay.
Yeah.
A lot of them that I talk with, and that's why I'm like, okay, because a lot of them I can just counsel, and I hear them say that, but they sometimes, and I know they're holding back too, because I don't know for what reason for me, because I'm like, okay. But now since you said that, so you're saying a woman, because you said you've experienced it, and I was telling someone today, the young lady that's going to come on the panel, she's a white lady, beautiful white lady. She was speaking on brokenness, and she wrote a book, and we'll talk about that later. But seriously, okay, so you were in love with the young lady,
Right.
and did you not know she was weaning off you, or what happened?
Well,
I mean, not in the sense of all every year.
Well, absolutely. Well, see, that's probably one of those kind of situations where now I was the cause for everything, meaning as in whatever it is she did to me, it was as a result of what I did. So, but that doesn't mean that my
Let me ask you this: unknowingly, you didn't know you was doing it. So
I knew I was doing it. I knew what I was doing.
They always do.
Yeah, I mean,
What
if I'm
you mean? See, I want to know. I'm
because if I'm
serious.
cheating with her and her and her
But
and
then
her,
you ain't in love with her. Then I don't care. See, that's when.
Well, that's
But
not true.
But that was the main one, though.
yeah,
Did
yeah,
you
that's
understand?
not.
I know, but
No,
to
but-
them,
You fall in
to
love with
them,
someone.
to the men,
You were in
yeah.
love
A
with
man
her.
has. I can't speak for all men
and he
because
lusts to others.
Okay,
He
that's-
loves
a
to
man-
others.
but I want him to see it.
He
You were
don't
in love
say
with
it.
her, though.
That's it. Go ahead.
I'm asking because I'm knowing what it is.
Okay. A man, and again, I can't speak for all, but a man has the ability to compartmentalize. So I love her, but everybody else is just for fun.
Okay.
Or I can be in love with two women.
No, you cannot be. in love.
Absolutely,
Now-
I can.
Now let me bring the scripture in this.
You can
No
bring it
man
in.
Can love
No,
two
I-
things.
no.
Now, wait a minute, let's see. That's the
No,
common
no, no.
mind of
But
man.
let's not take the scripture out of context because the scripture says God and mammon, meaning money.
No, but listen very carefully. It's physically. See, it's either lust or love.
Because
You're
it's
gonna have to get
there's a-
understanding of the scripture.
there's a-
I know
there-
somebody that's
there-
in love with two men.
There's a man right now that has a family on two sides of town.
Yeah.
That's lust, though.
No, it ain't. He got a wife and the kids and a girlfriend and kids.
Again, did you
And
understand?
he love
again?
them both equally.
And he love them both.
Doesn't he? Wait a minute. Isn't he have sex? I mean, and I know you don't know it, and maybe you do.
I'm just,
Is he having sex with both of them?
absolutely.
Of course.
Okay, then one is lust. I'm serious. I'm telling you.
He's
that-
getting something from one that he's not getting from the other, but he loves them both the same.
But it's lust. Though.
But he's just not going to leave his wife because he loves his wife.
Okay, we're gonna discuss this in the
Yeah.
future. We're gonna get down in it because we're not. I had to just say that because in life, literally, you're a physical man, and that's why I say, and I'm a female. Okay, but when you come into, and you know what? I'm glad you brought this up now. So listen, what I'm saying. Maybe let me correct you in the physical realm of it, because I had to bring. I heard God say in the physical realm of it. Now, spiritually, you can only be in love with one person. When God joins you, and you know the one God has joined you to, you are one. So whatever hurts that person, hurting you. You see the difference why I brought it into the spiritual realm. Now, physically, you probably can lay with anybody you want to, because it's the point you're just satisfying that lust. That's what I'm saying. But
No,
I
I think I can agree with that to a degree.
yeah,
yes.
that's all I'm just saying.
Mhm,
I
mhm.
had to hear God say we were discussing two different things, one spiritually and one physically.
So I guess he loves the wife because he's with the wife. You know, he married her,
But he's
and then but
he's
still
committed
gonna-
to the wife.
And he's committed to her and
That's
and not
exactly.
going to leave.
That's
Yeah.
exact because he has responsibility.
But he has fallen in love with another woman.
he likes what she's doing. Let her stop doing what making him feel good. That's all I'm trying to tell you. Because that's even with the ladies, I'm sure, that are watching us
Lord have mercy.
today. One thing about, and see, that's why a lot of women couldn't understand, or just men in general when I'm in talking. I'm like, if I'm not in love with you.
Tanny Webb says it's selfish.
It's
Okay,
very
Miss Webbs.
selfish.
Yes, Miss Webbs.
She says you do not love either one.
Thank you. And but Miss Webb,
But
we're
it-
gonna go
She says,
deeper next
"Man,
week.
You cannot love two people."
Thank you. And
Yes, you can.
but no, but the reason I'm gonna tell you
They
this,
think-
it really can't.
It's
I
infatuation.
mean, unless it's physically. Okay. What I'm saying though, and most men didn't understand this, and maybe God has just wired me as a real. Maybe that's what's causing these men to come at me because they see there's a realness,
Okay.
and you understand. But if I'm not in love with a man, I don't care how good looking you are, what you can offer me. If I don't love you, you'll never get it in the bed with me.
Right.
If you understand what I mean. And that's something I even sit there and understood even when I was like 16, 15 years old. If I don't love you, and then even if I don't love
But
you.
keep in mind, men, they don't go for love.
Did you understand again what I'm saying?
I understand you, but I'm saying.
But it can be done. That's all I'm saying.
Right.
So
Yeah.
that's why I said, well, Lord, thank you, Father, for making me that way before I even knew I was going to know you. But
Well, just
you
like
have
when
to.
Stevie Wonder, he was a judge in a beauty contest. And so you like, why would they have him to be the judge? He can't see. But you know,
okay, thank you.
you
There you go.
understand?
Say it. That's what I want
he
you to
went within.
and
The beauty is within.
There
It's
you
the-
go.
see what I'm saying?
There you
So
go.
yeah, so
And so that's what's going on now because literally the sins, the three sins that Jesus spoke about, and I'm just going to bring it because that comes to my mind. Lust of the the lust of the eye, the lust of the flesh, and the pride of life. These are the three things in that category that causes men to fall. If you understand my meaning.
and what was the three again?
The lust of the eyes, the lust of the flesh, and the pride of life. And that's literally how people fall. Either
Yeah.
your pride gets up there when you want to be
Yeah.
the pride of life, because you know those were the three that came when Satan came after Jesus on the Mount of Temptation. See, now that's what, even when I first got into the Word, I was like, he just did three. And then the more I studied the Word, and then God just revelated it to me. Because those are what men, even in the Garden of Eve, what happened when God told man to not touch but one tree. And that was in my mind, and he said, no, because that's the seed, the root of the problem right there. And it was because of his desire. You understand? Their desire want to be like God, like Satan. You would see everything, you know God. And see, anyway, I want my son to chime in anytime because I want it. But thank you, young lady. I'm glad you're into this. I'm serious. So that's why I say,
Right.
and I was telling him, if I don't love you, and should I tell my business? You know how sometimes I have to think. Because some people look at what you say
But
and don't
that's
even
why I
understand
want to
it.
let women know they could be doing everything right, and then all of a sudden, you know, the man will play on them, and they want to blame it on themselves. It's not. It don't have nothing to do with them.
That's exactly. And see, that's
Men
why.
is just a totally different beast. You know, it just it's different from women. You know, we love. You know, we emotional. They don't have to feel nothing.
You think that's what it is?
What?
I mean, I want him to talk. That's what I'm saying. Because
They
I'm
don't
saying
have
it
to.
personally
They
because
don't have to. You know, like you said, you have to. You know, you have to really love that man or whatever.
Yes.
They don't have to do that to lay with somebody.
But see, if that lust
You
is there,
know.
if I had given enough
Yeah.
time to linger with a man, see, that's that law of attraction of the flesh. You see, so I don't give it that play.
Right.
If I know I don't want you, I'm not going to even, and I know I would never foresee wanting you in the future, I don't allow the connection. You understand what I'm saying? So when they call and tell me I want to talk, I said, what, and I think they be saying I'm being funny. I'm like, what you want to talk about? And we get, he said, business. I said, okay, we finished
Okay.
business. What else you want? I said, because I don't have time for play.
Right.
I think this is the guest. We may have our guest calling in from Boston. His name is Bernie Lamb. You heard me talk about him 2 weeks ago. And he tickles me because I love him as a friend, and I have never seen him. And I told him I was going to bring him down here. So when I told him he's going to be a guest on our show, he said, you know, I'm not married. I said, I'm going to get you a wife, dear, because I know I'm not available. But is that Bernie? Praise
Okay.
God. Okay, we got him. Okay.
Okay.
Well, while we prepare to let you know a little bit about Bernie, like I said, he is, oh my God, a blessed young man. And I done left the paperwork. Oh, here it is. Okay. His name is Bernie Lamb. And he's going to tell you more or less what you do. what he does with his company. And also, I was explaining to my co-host, he knows this high pollutant attorney. I think is anyway. I'm gonna let Bernie tell you about it. Hey, Bernie, how you doing?
Hey, good evening. How are you?
I'm doing great, great, great. That my Boston accent. Okay.
It's a wicked good day here.
Okay. So talk to us. I'm just talking about you now and all that you do. So let the people know that is listening to you now. What all do you do other than sit up in this big lap of luxury? Tell the people, introduce yourself to them.
Well, my primary focus, I own a company called Blue Sky Legal Funding,
Yes.
and my primary position here is litigation funding, where I fund law firms anywhere from 250,000 to 5 million. But there's a other role that I provide is plaintiff funding, which is a mechanism field to fund plaintiffs that are involved in for example, they've been in a motor vehicle accident.
Yes.
They may have broke a leg or whatever, major injuries. They're not able to work. Nobody's giving them any kind of money because they don't have any short-term or long-term disability.
Yes.
Nobody's paying them any money, where I'm able to give them a cash advance on their pending cases
Yes.
based on their injuries and valuations. We never overfund cases, and we give them a little bit of money to keep their heads above water, to pay their bills.
Okay.
We only get paid back once the case settles. They're advances, they're not loans, so there's never a monthly interest and principal payment or anything like that. But if the case goes 6 months or 5 years or whatever, we get our money back once the case settles.
Oh, perfect.
If the case doesn't settle for any reason whatsoever, and some of our cases go sideways or whatever that we fund, they're non-recourse. So we do not go and we don't seek payment back from the plaintiff or the attorney that's involved.
But that's
So
because
it's
is that
so
because
it's
you
kind
do
of a
great
win-win.
investigation, though, because you do a good investigation of the claim.
Yeah, we do our underwriting, of course. I mean, I can give you all an example real quick. You have a gentleman that's been hurt in a motor vehicle accident. He's got a really bad back. And after 4 or 5 months, he stops getting treated and stuff. And maybe an investigator sees him in the gym, or he posts on the Facebook he's in the gym doing 250-pound squats. Obviously, his back isn't hurting that bad, and they bring this up in discovery and stuff, and they say, well, this guy can't be too hurt. He's in the gym doing back squats and stuff.
Okay.
So that could blow up a case easily that way as well. So cases don't settle. Not all cases settle. So we end up not having a way to get our money back once we do the loan.
I'm glad you told me that. That was a great example right there. That's what I know. But also, now, what does Boston or Massachusetts look like today?
Well, for me, I'm originally from New Hampshire,
Okay.
just outside of Boston, just about 40 minutes north on the seacoast of New Hampshire. I am now located in South Florida. I actually live in West Palm Beach, Florida. But I still have my 2 adult, professional, married children and my 3 granddaughters. And I got another one due at the end of this month. So I'm a grandpa of 4, but right now I think it's like 60-something degrees and sunny up there, but it's nothing like South Florida today. It's 89 and beautiful. So.
All right. You're going to have my son as one of your neighbors. I was telling you, I don't know if I told you, but he's getting ready to purchase a home down there in West Palm Beach. Okay. So I'm definitely.
You in West Palm Beach?
Yes, the one that came in all that money by the accident with Warner Trucking Company. So you're going to have him as one of your neighbors.
Oh, hey, if he ever needs anybody to show him around town or introduce him to some people or whatever, I've got quite the network of people down here.
He's going to need you. He's going to need you very soon. But okay, now again, to kind of highlight everybody and exactly what you do and how to contact you.
Well, like I said, for me, I'm always looking for a good referral. Unfortunately, people do get in car accidents and they get hurt, and my role is to provide them with capital or money to keep their heads above water to be able to pay their bills. So a good referral, like for me, is somebody that's been in a car accident that needs a little, or a slip and fall, or a medical malpractice case. Anybody that's been in a personal injury case that's got some personal damages that need to keep their head above water is pretty much what I'll look at. I always work with the attorneys directly. I mean, that's part of the thing is the person has to have an attorney involved in the case, and we take care of all the work, and we never agree. So basically, I fund plaintiffs, and then I also, on the other side of my business, is I do fund law firms and attorneys. Working capital. A lot of these guys are male or females, but a lot of the attorneys don't get paid until they actually settle cases, and sometimes they have big operating budgets,
Yes.
advertising budgets, and stuff like that, and we give them capital to be able to, grow their business
Okay.
and keep flow of business coming in.
All right. I have another client for you. I'm going to shoot it to your email. But yes, she got hurt at a nursing home, and they let her fell out the bed.
Oh no!
Oh, it's a big case. And then, like I said, we have so many, and I praise my God for that. So many come to me, and I'm like, okay, thank you. But I have about 2 or 3 I'm gonna get with you, as well as the young lady with Grady, and I will be contacting you. But also, my friend, you said you're single, so a lot of beautiful women is listening to us.
Okay.
Wow, Deborah, you're. I love you. I mean, we talk pretty much almost every day during the week and stuff. And yes, I've been divorced for 9 years, and
Nice.
You
I'm
sound
very
so
single.
young,
And
though.
So I'd like to know
I'm
what do you look
57
for
years
in a
old.
woman?
Huh?
What do you look for in a woman? What would catch
You
your
know,
eye?
it's not just the outside; it's the inner beauty. You know, I'm always looking for the girl that just has her inner beauty, has a great, her belief system in her faith.
Yes.
Is very important to me as well. I'm a grateful believer in Jesus Christ. I do attend church on a regular basis, but that's important to me. But it's just the commonality of having somebody that's on the same journey
Yes.
and looking to do the same things that you're always looking to do. Communication and the trust and everything else.
Right.
And for me, I'm just not going to settle. Unfortunately, there's a lot of women out there, but somebody's motives and stuff just aren't sometimes where I'm at. So.
Yes. Oh.
Because I was just talking to my girlfriend Kathy
Uh-huh.
Major, and she was saying the same thing. He has to be, spiritual,
Yes.
trust. We was just talking about all that earlier today.
All right.
Okay.
All right. Now. Bernie. Bernie. Hey, we're gonna have to bring. Hey, we're gonna have to have a trip, and I'm gonna have to bring some of these big old beautiful women down here, and let you see them, because we have some beautiful. You know it. You're a man. It's your job to look, and it's your
Right.
job to find. So you won't know what we're doing, but you may look and say, "Oh, she's one."
You guys are awesome.
All right. Well, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to let you go back, because I know you're having a great time in Florida.
Wow.
I know I'm going to have to take a trip down there and finally meet
Well,
you face to
yeah.
face.
Well, I'll definitely come up to Joe. I do business trips all the time. I mean, today I've been on my motorcycle all day. I ride Harleys, so I've been on a motorcycle trip all day. Went out to the west coast of Florida, out to Naples area, and stopped on the way home because I knew I was going to get on this call today. So we stopped, make a little rest, get a little gas, and then continue on home for the rest of the trip. But I do appreciate you having me on tonight, Deborah, and I do thank you so much.
You are very, very welcome, and I'm going to reach out to you. I'm probably going to let you have the weekend to yourself, but I'm going to call you Monday, okay?
Bless you all. Thank you so much.
Thank
You're
you.
welcome. Love
Yep.
you.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Well, see,
So,
I told
ladies,
you.
he sound like he's the one.
Okay. I'm telling you now, if you
Mm.
see any men around me, they're good men. That's all I'm telling you. And I'm telling you, all these ones coming at me, I don't know what they are seriously in the inner man yet, because I'm not trying to find one, but they are good. And when I say they're good, they are well-rounded, everything. And they're grounded in majority of them, because some of them I don't believe just really have a relationship with God. But when I tell you, I'm going to present the right ones to you, because they come like groves, like cattle heads. But you know what? That's because God is establishing his foundation with the women. I really believe it. Because there are some, like you said.
Right, but I want them. So women, don't try to make yourself over. Just be
Yes,
yourself. You just got to, seriously, they don't like that. Just be yourself. Either they're going to accept it or they're not. And the same with, with the man. Don't try to make him over. If he's not the one, just keep it moving.
And you'll know it. I'm serious.
Right.
Sometimes you'll know it before you know it. Because, again, if you're waiting on God to send, and I give examples through the Word, because that's how we know it. If you remember, and if not, I'm asking you to go into the Bible and read. When you sit there and do it God's way, he can't make a mistake, because he know you before you know you and that other person. So Boaz, when he sit there and found out about Ruth, I'm just going to tell you, Google it and then read that whole chapter. Just read it. And not just to find a man or let a man find you. Just get in the Word and just say, God, you know what? I'm a female, and I'm tired of doing wrong before you. So what I want to do, I got some needs here. My body is on fire, and I want you to
Not fire.
tame that fire. And he would do it because he loves you so much. That's what I'm looking at. Beautiful women, and I know when they're spiritual, but it's the point they're not taking enough time. They're spending almost 23 hours trying to make sure this is taken care of, and that last hour you probably just sitting there trying to sleep. But go to the one that can foundate you into the truth of who he is and who you are and how he can bring you to the one. And if he have to let that man come from across seas to find you, do you not know how God will do it? I'm telling you, he will do it. He will do it. I'm telling you. And when you get in it, sometimes you just know it when you get in his presence. And sometimes if you're not that spiritual, you would know. You may think you lusting and ain't nothing about no lust. But see, look at it. And I'm going to say something to you because I'm seeing this beautiful.
What I'm saying, just like with me, me and my sugar, we ourselves. We don't have to be putting on no fronts for each other. Because I'm me, he's him, and like I said, you just need to stop because a lot of people would do that. Okay, like all of a sudden they'll try to hurry up and lose some weight, not for themselves. Well, I'm saying not for themselves, but for the man. But then the first time when they mad at the man, then they forget it. They go to eat.
Then they go.
You know what I'm saying? So you need to do stuff for yourself. Just make sure you good.
Yes.
You gotta always make sure you're good, and then try to branch out. He's falling in love
with the one he first meets.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? So if you want to do it later on, then do it for yourself, for your health maybe, whatever.
And so like a lot of times when you first meet somebody, you're that size.
Yes.
And then when years go by, your body fluctuates. Me, I'm on that up and down.
But let me give you a compliment though. But it's not the point where it's hanging all out. You see, you like a
my body is weird. It get out of control, but I can tame it. I can bring it back. It's crazy. Okay. I can bring it back.
Okay, but you look good just where you are. But see, if you was to go there,
it can be a whole lot better. I got some improvement
we gonna do it because I know I'm gonna go ahead. I'm telling you.
But he don't even trip up. But what I'm saying
he's in love with
he don't care.
That's
he don't even.
That's And I'm not going to lose weight for no man because I got Shamar Moore over there. Let me stop. Let me stop because I'm not facetious and I don't jest and joke. But I'm just playing. I'm feeling good.
But a lot of times, when it's the right one though. You will know.
That's it. But you know what? That's why I'm looking at these women, and I do. Sometimes I'm in their presence, and you just it exudes from them that they want a man. And I'm like, oh Lord Jesus.
I mean, they get tired of being lonely,
But stop sleeping with every Tom, Dick, and Harry.
Right.
Then just wait.
You gotta just.
You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because now, I have to stay before
gotta
my
be
God.
disciplined.
There you go. Now that's the word, sister. Because I'm saying, for a while, I was dead as a doorknob. And when I said dead as a doorknob, and I'm telling you, just like those little messengers, it can affect me no other kind of way. But sometimes too, because when you love God anyway, you're gonna sit there when you're enticed by something, you just walk away. Because if that's not what God ordained for you, you just walk away. Because like I said, like Joseph had to pull out of his coat when the Pharaoh's wife tried to go after him. She was in the heat. Now think about it. Now she had a husband, but she
like a dog in
it was something about him. I think really a person who's so like. You always talk about young. No, we know that too, but you think that's what it was that caused. And I believe it. Yes. So think about it. That's something I'm always wondering. How now? Maybe that's what they're saying. Oh, see, that's why you're looking at Shamar Moore. Because you know why? Even the picture that I
because he's fine.
No, I don't. But I don't see
he's
that.
Fine.
And I said this though. I don't see him, and literally.
I do. I really do.
But no, seriously.
I see you.
Seriously, right now, if you was to tell me to just strive,
but you listen,
body, I couldn't tell you because really maybe it's wisdom too, because if I stop to think and look at him, you understand what I'm saying. So I love his. You ought to stop it. see, you looking at him. I don't. It would be stupid.
But no, but you listen to what he was saying. He was deep.
Yeah. That's it.
Because a lot of guys, they don't really want to get all emotional, And so that was really
And I
attractive.
think that's the
to-
only thing I saw.
You know.
Because right now, and I'm serious being
And
real.
guys, there's nothing wrong with being emotional.
That's exactly. But
You
it
know,
was just something,
it's
and
not.
for his heart to be revealed like that, and that's literally what caused me to turn around and look. But even for my first meeting him and getting to know him, just around when he's out,
Right.
and then when he saw, he could have walked in, all cabonaire, but he came in and just started talking with us. And I'm looking at all, and I'm serious, because I'm going to tell you the truth. The so-called other men that thought they was all that in a bag of chips. He just came in, and he was himself, and I'm watching him, because even though I was not, because of my friend Anna that was doing the hosting.
Right.
And I'm sitting back, and I'm looking at, and it's like everything disappeared, and that was him, and I started watching, his mannerism. And he was just so himself.
Right.
And I said, he's not even, up.
Not stuck up or nothing.
He just
down.
started talking, so I think we
down
got
to
over on
earth.
our knees, because we were, it was, what her name, Elise? You know the one.
Which
what I'm
one?
talking about. There you go. It was her, and I think it was Jennifer Lewis, all the one that was in that movie that came out that time. Because, he played the man that
In
wanted
the
her.
Tyler Perry's movie?
Yes, the one when she,
Yeah, that was a
yeah,
good one.
about the man
Okay.
that was the attorney. Yes, and we were there, and we were just, and I'm just watching him, because I'm saying he
That
could
was good.
really just be, because all the rest of the women, they're all trying to come around there, and but I'm looking at, this man is real, and then when I saw him again, and he was just himself, and I said, you know what, he's a heart. Nobody been not ever hurt his heart. That's literally what I saw. It was like woman, and I saw everybody after him, and I literally prayed, Kimberly at least get it. I'm serious. Kimberly, I know you looking. I left some things on your Instagram box, but you're one beautiful lady. That's what, even when Set It Off came, but when I saw her, because, and I said, oh my God, that's a beautiful woman. I'm talking about beautiful. And I guess she probably thinking, no, you
Her
are more
mannerism.
beautiful than any woman that I have seen. Maybe God let me saw the inner person of Elise.
Her mannerism.
But I said, they would be the best people together. And I said, oh my God. And you never know. And God, you told me whatever
Because
I
a lot
asked.
of times, what looks good to you is not always good for
Thank you.
Some
There you
people
go.
look better coming and going.
Yes. But this
Oh
woman,
my
something
goodness,
else.
yes.
And she got
When they
in here.
open their mouth, oh,
Oh,
stop.
girl, yes.
Stop the madness.
I'm glad you brought that up.
I
So
can't
you need to
stand it.
listen, ladies, because
Hmm.
y'all got a mouth on you all. When I say a mouth, y'all got
Calm
a
it
mouth.
down.
Because you're beautiful, but when you open that mouth,
It's like, and
Mm-hmm.
that now, okay, Gary, does that turn you off? When you see a really nice, attractive woman, and then all of a sudden, every other word is a cuss word or something coming out of her mouth,
It's
is
just
that a
mess.
turn off?
It is, because I
You
didn't
see?
grow up in a household where my mother or grandmother, used a lot of profanity. There was those small little words that we call small cuss
Foxes
words.
and stuff.
Yeah, little small words. But overall, they weren't. And so, for a woman to have I guess, cussing like a sailor, yeah, it's not attractive to me.
All right, man. See now,
Yeah.
I'm learning my
Right.
son now too. Okay, now.
Right.
But see,
a
that's
turn off.
he-
And she can be drop dead gorgeous.
Oh, she
so when
can
they
be
do that, like, oh my
a
God.
10 plus 10.
All right, now, all right. That is
Mhm.
good. Oh, okay, little young man. You never know. I may sit there when we fly to L.A. and you may look up and you may see a movie star sitting there saying, I want him. I heard him on that broadcast and I love his voice. But, we'll see what God do.
I mean, but people are simple. They just want somebody that'll love them. Stop playing the games. Just be straightforward. Quit all those, just putting up airs. Just be yourself. It's so simple because it's so hard to keep up with all that drama that they be trying to,
And that's a lot of drama.
portray.
A
Yeah,
lot of drama.
just be yourself.
That's it.
Seriously.
I need him to answer this. Now, we spoke about it once before. But you know what God spoke to me about the other day? And that's why I said I thank God for resting in his bosom and where he talks. See, that's one thing, too. When I marry, the kind of man that I'm going to marry, I'm going to know his heartbeat. You understand when I'm saying heartbeat. I'm going to know every sensitive thing about him, and he don't have to open his mouth. You understand what I'm saying? So
Oh, yeah.
that's how, when I told
know
God, keep me
exactly.
close to his bosom, because he's going to know my thoughts. He already knows that anyway, but if you understand, he's going to let me know the thoughts that I take and the way that I take. But when I finally receive who God has ordained for me, and God know what I want, and you remember we spoke about that he's going to know me beyond a shadow of a doubt. Don't try to circumspect me, and don't try to analyze me because you don't know me. Even when you think you know me, you don't know me. I had to tell someone that. I said, you don't really know me. You hear me talk, but you don't know what I'm meaning when I'm saying something. And they were shocked. I said, no, they really. And when I hear them talk, I'm like, you didn't hear me. You heard my verbal, but you didn't hear the spiritual woman of me. But let me ask you this, because God had to speak to me the other day, and he said what it is about the girl that said I was broken, and then I heard a person say that, trying to describe to me what broken is.
Right.
He said, daughter, he said, you are more complete than any person that think they know you. Because I would not have put my anointing on you.
Right.
And open up people's minds and their expressions and everything, because God doesn't do that to his prophets. Because if that's it, I'll take what God give me about you, and find somebody else to, I tell folks, whatever somebody talk about you to, when that person's not in that room, is going to take what you tell and go talk about somebody else. So that's literally how I'm saying.
That messy.
Yes. So that's why I'm like, because people don't understand.
Drama free.
You just be tickling me. But yes, people really don't understand when I'm acting naive, and I'm not doing it deliberately. But that's God just pour out stuff to me and about people. But he said, when he said that, he said, you are more complete than anyone on this earth. And then I thought about what people be trying to say, what you go through and what you do this and what you do that. I'm like, okay, was Jesus, what's the word for they use, dysfunctional? Nobody couldn't explain Jesus. He was to himself like a recluse. But you can't sit there and say, because this person's doing that, and I loved when he had to rebuke these demons and say, get this behind me, Satan, because you serve not the things that be of God. And that's what he brought out. So he said, what it is, they are trying to examine you like they would themselves or someone around. He said, but they don't serve the things that be of God. You know exactly when I tell you to do it, you're going to obey. It ain't going to be no, Daddy, can I not do this? But that's why I'm saying to a point, and I'm going to tell you a reason why. Somebody said, well, maybe a therapist can help you. And God said, no, a therapist cannot help you when you are controlled by the Spirit of God. What is it they can tell you when they have a problem themselves? And I'm going to tell you experience I went through. We were going through something, not going through like a physical thing, but it was something that happened with me and my granddaughter. And in order to get everything acclimated to where it was supposed to be, they asked me, would I sit with a therapist, because they had heard my testimony.
Right.
And God said, let them do it.
Okay.
They're not going to be happy when they get through. And I didn't understand what he meant by that. So I went to a therapist. And I sit back and walked in. And they start asking all them questions. When I got through, I told that man from A to Z about himself. He sit back. He said, I come to try to help you. You helping me. And see, that's when God said, see, they don't understand who they dealing with. Because what happened, I don't have nothing in my past I'm afraid of, hurt by. But what the problem of it is, when people feel that you're supposed to do what they say do. That's, again, that control.
They way or the highway. Yeah.
That's exactly. But no, what they don't understand, things that I allow to be let loose, I want people to know I'm human just like you are.
Right.
I can be touched with anybody.
Right.
And that's why I say I can talk with a young child all the way up to 150, because I'm open to you. So I kind of empathize with whatever you're doing. And maybe because I went through things in my life that I can't empathize with you, not feel sympathy, but to empathize. But that's what I was saying. And I said, what can a therapist do for me? When I can tell her, I'll probably get in there and tell her, have her on the sofa talking to me. And I'm like, no, because what it is with man, they got too much trauma in their lives. So whenever a person tries to psychoanalyze you, it's what they need. And that's what I'm saying, being women and men of God. I see promising stuff with this young man, 'cause I can't wait to see him up. And God get through doing it. He looking at wherever he's looking at, but he has some promise in him. He's really gonna be one of them little preachers. But Mr.
But I know what but I'm gonna tell you what the issue is. A lot of my friends,
Yes.
they're strong black women
Yes.
in all races of women. They just strong women.
Yes.
And for whatever reason, they feel that the men are intimidated because, they don't need the man for the money. So a lot of times, back in the day,
That's
the
what
man's supposed to, all
yes.
the money's supposed to be made by the man, so he's supposed to be in control. And so when the woman makes the same amount or more, it's a problem. But
it.
they don't, like I said, a lot of women will get with these men that has money. They just attracted to the money,
There you go.
and then they'll marry them. And then what happens?
After they got
Well,
that,
you want me to tell you?
go ahead.
They laying up there in that big old mansion
Go ahead.
alone.
Literally, yes.
Alone.
Yeah.
And that man is
Gone.
lusting, doing all this
Yes,
kind of stuff,
yes.
and and all they want is like, if we could redo this, I just want my man.
Yes.
So the bottom line, fellas, don't be intimidated
That's true.
by these strong women.
Yes.
They vulnerable. They just need
Yes.
you to take control. Don't worry about if they making more than you.
Or whatever.
Just you
Yeah.
know, just be a man.
Whatever's
And
causing
just
that intimidation,
make
that's
them
it.
feel comfortable. A woman just want to be. They just want to feel love. That's it. It don't cost you nothing.
But I'm gonna tell you why.
So that's the thing though. It's a lot of them. They feel that the man is intimidated, and they may be, but it's no reason.
for them. And but
Because
like I said,
you are a man, you stronger.
and don't try to
And-
tear that woman down.
Right,
Because then
don't.
that's what's gonna
And
run
that's the
her off. Because
problem.
she's like,
Right.
wait a minute. Why
Right.
are you gonna run down what God has instilled in me?
Right.
I'm somebody who can sit here and how does that build a wall and tear it back down again and help you get up there to the top. It was a
Right.
vision God showed me, and I don't know. If you let me know when. You know how the producers do them fingers, but okay. But no, back when God had showed me these 10 things that was going to happen and culminate, and we on the last 10 now. Everything happened right in order that God was going to happen.
Mhm.
But He showed me something that I was like, Lord, what's going to happen when that happened in my life? And see, one thing about God, if He feel He doesn't need to tell you about it, He will not. But now, since it's culminating down to the situation where He said, in your ministry, and He showed it like a living vision happening. But He showed me these 3 big poles, and I guess you can kind of acclimate what I'm saying. But like the 3 poles that at the Olympics when they get the gold, the bronze, and the silver, but the person who puts the gold is in the middle, if I'm not mistaken. So what it was, everybody was on these poles. And like I said, I didn't see in the end to the end, and everything started rising. Like moving. Everybody on these poles is moving up and down, up and down, up and down. And all of a sudden, because I told you I don't have a fear of height, but I don't like height. All of a sudden, I saw my pole start rising, and I'm like, okay, where everybody else? Because I'm trying to hold something. Where is it at? Where the grip? Where the establishment of what I needed, the grip? All of a sudden, out of all these millions of people on these poles, and you all understand, I'm not trying to put myself on no pedestal. I have to ask God what He meant by that. But all I know, when it happened, something He said, and I just left it alone. And think about it, a little child, 16, 17 years old, and I think I was now 20 because that's when He started giving me those. He gave me a list, and I jotted it down. 10 things are going to happen, starting with PTL, that show that came on probably about 30-some years ago. But He started showing the decline of it. But 1, 2, and I mean right in a row. And I think that paper, if I'm not mistaken, I still have it in all my archives. But all of a sudden, when it got down to the end, that 10 person, but when I remember, I was standing there on that podium, and everybody, it's like they stopped, like right here, but I was up there on that podium, and I was looking down, and He said, daughter, take note. And that's why it's just as vivid in my mind as of today.
You was above their level. They was down.
And that's what I don't know. You see, all of y'all wise, but I just said, Lord, what do you mean? But even the vision and the prophecy God had given me, everything's coming paired back to back. So that's why I was saying, wait a minute. This man that liked me one time, and I know he wasn't spiritual, even when I told you when I was going to marry, something they saw. I don't know what these men saw, but he said, Deborah.
He said, Deborah.
And see, that's how he talks, because I look around at him. Because when he said something like that, something getting ready to come past. I said, yeah. He said,
You said, yeah.
Because I knew, again, you discern these men. Because he was just sitting there watching me, just watching. And finally, he said, Deborah, he said, you something else. He said that first, and I said, what you mean I'm something else? He said, no, you're great. And I looked at him, but then, I told you, I found out later on, he was raised in sanctified. He's a Muslim, but he was raised in sanctified church with his grandma. His grandma would pick him up, And, you know, when they not around mama and dad, which was Muslim,
Right.
they would take him to church. But I told him that. That's why now, when he and I went our separate ways, oh my God. And I had saw him later on. He said, no, I done left all that life alone and all that. He said, because I'm trying to get my life together. And I said, God said, no, because what happened, all things work together for good to them that love God and call for a purpose. It was not for me to be with him in a physical manner.
Mm.
But it was really when he was drawn to me. He was drawn to me like hot white rice. And think about a big movie producer out there with Suge Knight and Dr. Dre and everybody, because that's how he was moving. That's how I end up, you know, meeting Coolio and everything, because we was in Hollywood and back, just flying back and forth.
Mm-hmm.
And so that situation where I guess I was really supposed to be someone to witness with him. I was never supposed to end up looking at him like somebody to marry or whatever. But I thank God that God himself during that time, it was not useless, if you understand.
Okay.
I didn't run him away.
Right.
I brought him closer to God, so now he can hear from God now. But I think about that sometimes. When he sit back and say, you're going to be great, I didn't understand what he mean, because, you know, I'm thinking like, but I guess he saw the favor I opened the door. When I was around him, favor galore.
Yeah.
And I guess he don't understand, but whatever God had showed him, he said, no. He said, you're great. And I just looked around. In the spirit, I'm like, because, I mean, I had gotten weak a little bit. So at that time, you know, I'm like, okay. But what happened, it let me know, just hearing my dad talk to me and letting me know how you got here, because the people that really supposed to have been covering you. You understand what I'm saying?
Right.
And praying for you. They was the one prayers that prayed, P-R-E-Y.
Prayed on
They
you.
prayed on you
Yeah.
because they saw the same thing.
That's a lot going on. You
There
gotta
you
be
go.
careful.
There you go. And I saw something,
Yeah.
Jim, look at
Mhm.
Instagram and look at the testimony from Jennifer Lewis, the one that what love got to do with it on Blackish.
Right.
She said she went to something like that in the church too. So that's why I was like, okay, it's coming out now. God is allowing this to come out. And see,
Right.
I know my testimony. If I would, I can't say a lot of things because I have things
That's
that
why I told you I
will
don't
hurt
let everybody
people's
pray
lives.
for
That's
me. You
exactly.
remember you was like, why don't I said no, I'm good.
That's it.
Remember you couldn't. I'm like, mm-mm.
But I understood later on what you was
Right.
talking about. But
Mm-mm.
you understand. But see your purpose, because what it is, the enemy sees your purpose.
They
He
take
don't
your
care nothing
kindness
about
for
what you do.
weakness. Yes,
He sees
all
the
of that.
purpose, what God has ordained for your life.
Right.
So what he's coming after is that purpose to destroy the purpose.
Yeah.
So that's why I was like, okay, God, thank you for letting me know. But just to think now, and I'm all these stuff that God had shown me in vision or spoke to me about, and all of it now, he's just like vividly it's coming back vividly. And I'm sitting there saying, okay, God, this is why you gave me this. This is why you did this.
Yeah, it's making
And I
sense.
saw, and I've tried to give this prophecy that God gave to me to one of my people that I helped get in a situation in his business. I was sitting there talking, and I heard God say, and I'm going to take you into the trillionaire favor. Whatever you ask for, you will receive it. And I turned around to my brother. The reason I'm laughing, y'all, because I want to make sure I don't call names. That's what I'm saying. And when I gave it to him, if he didn't understand, if he had accepted it, he could walk in that favor. He sit back and I said, well, you know what? God will take you up to a trillionaire favor status. His eye buck wide as, I don't know what, I never saw his eyes big, and he already had big eyes. And he just stopped right in front of the Peachtree Hotel on Peachtree. His wife looked at him, and they just looked at, and I'm like, God, is I supposed to say it to him? But God, later on, because you know what?
He wasn't ready.
He wasn't ready.
He wasn't ready.
And
He's
he could have
scared.
walked in. Yeah, he was scared. And then literally, and I don't mean it in that sense of tear down scared, but it's like it caught him. If he had caught that word by faith, but you know, he want to come back around. I don't mind, because you know we get ready to be some. When I said some something else.
Say it, and I'm gonna say I received it.
Oh, I know. God
I'm
didn't
not
send you-
scared.
God didn't send you for no reason. I'm telling
I'm
you.
not scared.
It's getting ready to be awesome.
He's not done with me yet.
Oh no, he's not. Because I'm telling you, where he's getting ready to take you. Because I told you, you see me in a minute, I'll pass the baton real easily. Because I'm not about being nobody, no doors or whatever. I believe we're a big body of Christ. And there's so many got these gifts. And I'm telling you, and I'm talking to the camera, many ladies, I don't know if you just first connect with your spiritual dad, go to him and talk with him. And I'm telling you, if you ever see me around your life, or I'm somewhere in your life, you're
blessed and
going to
highly
go
favored.
forth like you
Huh.
never went forth before. God is going to open some doors for you. And it's not just me, but the anointing that God have already established on this earth. He's getting ready to show his glory. Just let his glory be shown through you. You have purpose. He just didn't sit you on this earth just to look pretty now.
Yeah.
He could just speak and put pretty women out there. Okay. Thank you, my son. But yes, I promised you all we were going to have a challenge. And literally, I need to lose 35 pounds. And that's so strange. I told you how it happened.
I need to lose 100.
No, you don't. I'll tell you, honey, sister, please go back to somewhere. And Sugar, I know you just heard her say that. Tell her, no. You don't need no 100. I mean, you saw my hairstylist, the one that.
Oh, she's pretty.
Oh, she's gorgeous.
Yeah.
He told me I need to lose some weight, and you should.
Who's he?
The one she. Well, let me
Oh,
correction, because she
Oh.
said that's her man,
Oh.
and that's what I was trying to explain to her. I said, what it is, you trying to tell me I'm broken because I don't want to marry a man that's gonna try to control me.
Oh, my
You are broken and don't even realize you're broken. But no, when I
So
said
he's
drop dead
saying that.
gorgeous, you
Oh,
see her,
no,
and I'm like,
Mm.
I said, sister, just go seek God.
Wow.
And you don't understand. You sit there and saying somebody's broken because they don't want to be controlled. Because I guess most women, when they find a man, no, correction, when a man finds them, you feel that everything else goes but that man. See, and I always said I don't need nothing on this earth. And when that need comes
Drama
up,
free.
there you go. And it is drama free. The only thing I pray and stand before God for is that, Lord, when you send him, because he's definitely got to come to me. I'm not going, and I told you that I'm not going after a man. Not when I can have more and more, and I can just say, Daddy, again, facetiousness now. But I can't do it. Daddy, you know your daughter. But no, I would never pray for no man. It's not even worth it. You know it. You beautiful and gorgeous. So I know you wouldn't say, oh, that man
Everybody
going down the
wants, but like I said, beauty is within.
But either way, even if he gonna be looking good too now. I ain't gonna tell that. Like when I wake up in the morning and I grab him, honey.
But like I say, a lot of times when you have a conversation with somebody,
That's
they
yes.
could just, they look so beautiful to you.
Oh, they
Because
do.
I'm saying,
Literally,
they,
yes, because all you see, you smile
Right.
when you think of him. You smile when you
Right.
see him.
you
But yes, it doesn't have
so
nothing
sometimes
to do
it's
with
good.
it.
Some people do meet, by talking first,
Mhm.
and then they fall for them. They just really be like, oh.
But I believe God will let you fall in love as soon as you look at him. I mean, I know the man when I really, and in fact, I think I told him he was ugly, the one that I with, and I wasn't in love with him. But you understand? But he's good. Every woman in who was after him, if you understand. But I was like, how do you see him? The way he thought he was, which he was. But
It's
I don't know.
different.
I just know he's got to warm my heart. So
He does.
that's it. That I'll melt. No, that's literally what's gonna cause the
Yeah,
submission.
that's what everybody just want to feel love.
That's exactly.
know,
that's
I-
the only thing.
Men, you still need to be opening up them doors. I know
Eh,
how to.
hello, hello
But
over
I mean,
there,
I've been
okay?
like that ever since I was, dating. You got to open up them doors.
Because that's what you're talking about, just keeping everything closed tight and don't
No, I'm
let them
saying,
know what's-
like when you corridors.
Oh, he's got to be that.
But no, it's not happening all the time.
But
Just
you-
different
but you
ones. But you
understand
need
again.
to start. Shiri is not dead.
All right now, but
You
I'm
know,
telling you, my
You
man's
just
gonna
gotta
be so.
just be,
Yes.
respectable and just
But he's gonna
make
feel
her
that.
make
That's
a woman
exactly.
feel like she's a queen.
Yes.
You know?
And then I'm gonna in turn that woman to make you feel like you're the king you are. That
Whatever you
understand.
did, like when Kathy was talking earlier,
Yes.
whatever you did to get that man, once you have him, you got
Keep
to
him.
continue to
That's
be
it.
doing
But
that.
if you love him and
They
in
get
love
too
with him,
relaxed.
you'll do
I
it.
think that's what it is. They get too relaxed. They stop, just looking the way they did when, they don't have the date nights and just all. It's just everything changes. They like, oh, I got him now, and
Oh, those are the
the
ones that
chase
they
is over.
pretty.
I'm just saying, they just get comfortable. Once you got a man and you get married, and all of a sudden you stop, looking the way you did when you first got him. All that work that you did to get him, you should keep on doing
But
that. 'Cause
keep
you
it
want to
real-
keep him look, because that's why they get to have them wandering eyes. But sometimes they just try and just gonna keep
That's
looking
that lust
anyway.
demon. He just
you
got
know.
to get the. Just
But
live
you
from
just
that
gotta
lust.
just make sure that he's just all into you.
But you remember I told you, I said when I finally get married, I'm a romanticizer because I'm gonna be like this. If I'm over in China somewhere, and they could be in Timbuktu. I'm gonna surprise them. I'll just call and tell them, you know what?
You'll
I
pop
know
up.
not. Yeah, you remember I told you I take that jet in a minute, and before I know it, he up there doing whatever, and he'll look around and say, and everybody in the room,
Right.
or the boardroom or wherever, what you looking at that? He said, that's my baby.
Right.
Look at it,
Okay.
okay. But no, last week we spoke about losing weight. So you know what? I
Yeah.
want to give a challenge. And my host and I have decided too, if you can lose more weight than I am, I'm going to give you money. I'm going to take you on a spa because I want to go somewhere and just be pampered. Get my little white robes I love and go in sauna, the seaweed wrap, everything from head to
The
the
works.
toe. We're going to
From
spend a week.
head to toe.
But like I tell you, I'm going to, and I may even take you to the fashion week. We have
Because
this
if they
February
lost
20
weight, then they feel like, ooh,
Yeah, you
I
looking
could be
like,
a
ooh.
model. Feel like you belong.
That's exactly. So we're gonna have a ball, and I said, like, you know what? I'm gonna. If it's all right to give your email, because they're gonna contact
Sure.
you. Give your email.
So Shawn, SHAWN dot Sims, SIMS 44 at gmail.com.
Repeat one more time.
Shawn, SHAWN dot Sims, SIMS 44 at gmail.com. Now, what do they need to put in the subject
Okay.
so I can know it's there? Do I get a line of
Challenge. Yeah, weight challenge.
Okay,
Da, da, da,
so
okay.
put weight challenge in the subject line.
But anyway, you hear, I'm gonna lose
You're
35. I
interested.
know I'm gonna do it. So I know I've called back and told them put my name back on the gym, and I'm gonna go to my office or probably try to get there like 7 o'clock in the morning and just exercise about an hour, shower, and get back down to my office. But whichever way, because I know a lot of people now are walking on parks and stuff. I need to get to that too. But yeah, if you lose more than 35
So you got to
pounds,
show your photo of how
Yeah.
you're looking now.
Oh yeah, send her
Come
a
on
photo.
now.
Snapshot
And then
yourself.
we'll see, what's going
I'm
on.
glad you thought about that. Yeah, because they'll be sitting there cheating, and you know I'm not trying to.
I
sit
really need to say I need to see a video with you stepping on the scale.
scale. Yes, if you can step on the scale and
You
it'll
know.
show your weight. And then in the end, I'm gonna make sure Sean and I are gonna look at it, and then if it's
But
35,
she gonna treat you right.
oh,
I'll
I
treat 'em
love,
right.
like, if you know I should pamper my husband if I get one, but honey, I'm gonna pamper you like the lady and the queen you are. I'm gonna make you feel
Okay.
good, and like I tell you, in fact, that's what I'm thinking about.
And we're gonna have a ball. I'm gonna make
That's it.
sure of that.
Because I'm thinking about now just go ahead and hire me a jet, charter me a jet, and I know Sugar ain't gonna let you go, Sugar. I'm not gonna ask her because I know you want her
Sugar
around
ain't
you.
like that. Now y'all need to understand something. Now, Sean is not in bondage.
But you know what I mean. You know,
me and
'cause
Sugar
I-
gotta understand it. It's not like, oh, Sean can't go nowhere, so don't
Okay,
say
Sugar.
that.
You see your
Don't-
sister over here, Sister
Right.
Deborah.
Sean is
Okay.
Sean.
Yeah, because I'm sure
So
I'm trying to
that's
find
not-
a good place to just go because everybody's not accepting travel. So if I
Right,
can
so
get
that's the thing.
Uh-huh, 'cause
You know,
I'm
we
gonna
gotta be
definitely-
careful behind the COVID.
charter our own private jet,
Right.
and we're gonna go. Because I got to get away for a while, and I just got to have my good time for a minute. And you know, I told you I want to go to where snow is, and I don't know if you like snow, but
Ooh, that's
no,
snow.
because see, I'm like,
I mean, it's really nice to. I mean, like I said, I grew up with the snow, but when you young, that's fun. But when you get older, you have to drive it and you be like, oh my
no.
God.
When we get there,
You know.
the jet's gonna land at its hangar.
What you want to do in the snow?
But see,
Throw
if I
some
went by myself, no.
Cause I don't like to get hit in the face.
Oh, you don't?
No.
Okay. Well, you think about where you want to go. But I
No,
do.
no, no. I'm saying, what you want to do in the snow?
No, see, I love getting a big
just
old
like to
huge
be in that
chalet.
environment?
Yeah, and then
Oh.
the fire burning, and I just love, and maybe that's because I love being by myself. Some people just can't be by themselves, but I love being by myself. I get that fire, and I get me a big, huge. Well, most of the time we go to them chalets, they have that big old huge rug that's, look like an animal, and I just I get my Bible and I get down on the floor and I just read and study. But if you want to enjoy something, Sugar again, your sister is gonna watch very good, take very good care of her sister. Okay.
You know
But
that I
yeah,
get
you
that.
all, and then tell some suggestions if you don't feel like traveling to the places that I want to take you. If you can lose more than 35 pounds,
By what
and
date?
I'm looking at a good date would be, okay, probably
35 pounds.
35
weight
pounds,
loss.
and it's October now, so we're looking at, if you do it healthy wise, and my friend too, I told you about the one that gave me how you can lose weight comfortably, and I'm coming in too. She gave me Tava, Trave, And I just put it in there. It's natural too. And she said, put it in a bottle of water and drink it.
That's tea.
I guess it's,
Awesome.
and then she have some that is coffee, but I'll go ahead and put it on my website and give it to Sean. She'll put it on her website. But I know I'm gonna get rid of it. Because most of mine are just water weight.
You know, women have a lot
Yeah.
of water weight.
And my physician told me, you just carry a lot of water weight because you always drink water, and juices.
Mine
juices,
is
juices.
just trifling weight. I've been eating.
But
I've been eating.
I don't eat though. That's the point, and that's how I eat.
Oh,
now.
I've been eating.
But I think my body, because I remember I told you I took that 50-day fast, and I have the most problem with dehydration. He said because I did that, I have to keep it plenty. So I'm like, I don't want to fall out no more. So I drink
Right.
all the water. So, but he said no, curb it, but keep exercising and stuff. But
Water's good.
again,
Clean
beautiful
water.
women and handsome men out there. And you know you're handsome. So tell your wife, honey, when you just look at this mirror and say, honey, you know I look good, honey. Because I'm going to make my man feel like he's
I tell
everything
you-
on this earth.
I tell myself.
But you are beautiful.
I tell
though.
you, I look in the mirror, I say, hey. I have fun with myself. But look, I'll be like, I look in the mirror and I like what I see. You got to be able to like what you see. You see, if you
Well,
don't
that's
like it,
true.
fix it.
And that's why, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I love me some Sean.
I know you do.
I do.
I love Deborah, but Deborah still want to love
Huh.
Deborah at a size 12. But anyway, I told you we have a great time. And also we're getting with my son before we go on off air. We're going to start traveling to different states and doing some interviews. I've already let him know. Just give me his proposal, what he's going to charge me. And we're going to fly. We're going to do interviews with you all that are watching around the world. And I've had so many different continents that want us to come over, and we'll get with them too. But we love you. And like I said,
love
when
you, love you.
Amen now, seriously. I
I
love
do, though.
people. And I know you do,
I
because
do.
I see you wouldn't be around me that much if you didn't love people. I'm serious. But again, make sure you email her, because I want to just pamper you all ladies and make you feel good. And we may just have something where we just have a big conference, and I just pamper you all to make y'all feel like the queens you are. But until next week, one thing we tell you, pray for us, because we want to be the ladies that God has ordained on this earth to glorify him. And we don't have too many here now on earth doing that. And you wonder why things are happening everywhere, catastrophic things that are happening, because we are out of place with God, and we got to bring things back in place. I don't get political, because when I hear people talking about political stuff, my dad done told me who's going to win, so I don't even get into it. So that's why a prophet, you can't, see, when Dad said it's going to happen, I don't have no doubt, so I just let y'all do whatever y'all want to do about these number 45 and maybe next number 46. So you pray for them. Pray that they hear from God, because, like I said, that was a Nebuchadnezzar thing, as I told them what number 45 went through, and I hope he hear God. That was, and God had just said it just clear that he said I had to take him through that with Nebuchadnezzar. And again, go to the Bible and look up, Google Nebuchadnezzar, and see what he had to go through. But again, we praise God again. I thank God for WadeWorksStudios. I thank God for Thinking Out Loud Network, and most of all, thank God for Repair the Breach, because God is bringing us all back together as one. To next week, love you, and you're going to get some of those men. I'm going to let y'all see. He's going to be here, one of the young men I spoke about, next week. He had to work today, but he is going to be here. And before I close, I have so many beautiful, nice, what you call those things I told you about, throw across the bed, the young man. You know, the things that you can go in Macy's and all these big high level. Yes, you know, it looks like a carpet, but it's a throw thing at the end of your bed. It costs like, so I know in Macy's, when I was getting ready to purchase some, cost $55.
The fleece?
Yeah, it's like I told you, gorgeous. I was going to bring some, because he just told me to go in his place and just get how many I wanted. He just gave them to me. He said, whatever you want. But we're getting ready to do some things. God done gave me another business, you all. And just be in prayer, because we have one client just walked up to me and said, I have a plagiarism situation. She made a jingle and took it to this attorney, and he did something with, but no, it was with Dunkin' Donuts. I heard it when she told me about it. And they stole it. Yeah, so it's a plagiarism thing. So, but they are coming, you all, and I tell my daddy, can I take all this money and just give it to my sisters and brothers and enjoy ourselves? He said yes, because he knows my heart. So until next week, keep us in prayer, because we want to be the very people that God established and purposed us to be on earth. Love you until next week. Bye-bye.
Check out the Thinking Out Loud Network at thinkingoutloudnetwork.com.